Hello, we're live. It's October 12th, 2023. Happy fall. I'm here in all my snuggly clothes. Kathy's in a hot atmosphere on the
I
West
know.
Coast. But the East Coast is full on in fall. I mean, the colors are starting to change. North of me, it's really peak color. I'm here in almost the mid-Atlantic, so the color is just slowly starting now, and it's really pretty. And I hope it's if we don't get any storms, it'll be a long, glorious, colorful fall. And I'm looking forward to that.
I love the labels, you're in the mid-Atlantic area. I live in SoCal.
Yes.
I mean, when you were a kid, I was like, I live in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I just not, yeah. You never thought anything. I mean, the world was so small
Yeah. Yeah.
when
And
when we were.
and the East Coast was the East Coast. Well, the East Coast is like four different countries.
Yeah.
There's New
I just
England and
I would say, Karen, you know, sometimes we're really slow to read private messages and emails, but I just caught up on all of yours, and I wanted to say that um, I loved your story about the library because when I was a little kid, that's all I wanted to do. My mother was a reader, and they would tell these stories about seeing my mom. We lived about a mile from what we called the downtown area, and my mother was tiny. She would just go walk there like every other day, and I just be like bouncing along behind her, and we would go to the library, and she would let me loose in the children's section
yeah.
and just leave me there because you could do that, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And then we'd walk home with all these books,
Yeah.
and I just all I wanted to do is read and read
Yeah.
and read and read, and I still, even though this here's part of my confession segment
Okay.
of the hour. Um, I'm reading this. I'm listening. I read the first book. I listened to the second one on my audiobook of a book that I hate. I just hate it. And the audiobook, it puts me to sleep so fast, which is why I've stuck with it. Like at one point I go, how much do I have left? It's like 21 hours and today, and I was like, oh dear God. And every night I have to rewind it till I find the part that I was listening to when I just zonked out. And I was debating whether to get the next installation, but it doesn't even come out until November, and I thought, "Oh, forget it.
Oh,
Just forget it." But I hate it when you're I love having a book that I'm enjoying so that when I go to I think, "Oh, I'm gonna go to bed and read my book,"
yeah.
or listen to my book, whichever point I'm at, and then when you've got one that you don't like, it's bleh.
And I'm really slow to give up on a book. I just finished a book that was very mediocre. The story was interesting, the writing was awful. And so in my head, I wanted to finish the book to support the author because goodness gracious, it's an amazing feat to have created a story and finish it. And the fact that she isn't a particularly gifted writer yet, I just wanted to be encouraging. And I stuck with it because the story was really inventive and creative. But the writing was just awful.
I'm trying to figure out which pair of glasses I could see better with. It's so
Ah,
iffy, but Viola Shipman, thank you.
I'm gonna write her name down and look it up.
Please do, because then I'll get it from you. Yeah, mine was the opposite. It was brilliantly written, um, just crap. And I mean, the story was like, eh,
Yeah,
but it went on, and it was like, okay, I like the Diana Gabaldon. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Outlander stuff.
yeah, me too.
And even though they have sex every 5 minutes in those books, there's 9 books, every 5 minutes, like clockwork, they're having sex. And that's what in this book, I'd be reading it, and then like, and I felt my blood rise and the heat in my face, and I thought, oh no, not again. Oh my God. And usually that's right when I fall asleep, and then then I wake up the next day and I go, where was it? Oh yeah, it didn't matter. Really. And I would start playing afterwards. It never the story, you know how in a musical, like if you were writing a musical, they tell you each musical number is supposed to move the story forward,
Correct. Yeah.
you know. But and that's why in this book of 26 hours of them having sex, you know, I mean, if that's what you're looking for, that's fine, but I need a story. Dang, you know, there was no
A
story.
reason they're having sex.
Yeah, you know, it just drove me crazy.
Oh,
Oh my god.
I'm in a phase, like I went through a phase of almost 3 years where I read nothing but, um, historical romances, particularly Regency romances. And then I veered off into, alpha wolves and dragons. and and so now I'm in a fantasy phase where everybody is secretly a wolf or a dragon.
You know, don't ever feel, I mean, this is me just saying this. This is
Yeah.
just my opinion, but you know, no one should ever feel bad because they don't like to read. It's like saying, like Cindy always says she doesn't like fennel, but
Yeah.
I know one day she's going to have a dish with fennel in it and she's going to go, "Oh," and that's the same way, you know, Karen, Karen, right? I want to call you KL. That with books, you know, once you go like, "Oh," but, you know, once you find something that you wanna read about,
Yeah.
then you just read. Then
Yeah.
it's not a chore. And then it's to me, it's sometimes like with Cindy saying she spent 3 years reading historical romance, you know, I can't judge her for that. That's like somebody telling me I ate Twinkies when I was a kid and I saw them in a store and I
Yeah.
bought them and I ate them
Yeah.
because that's what historical romances are like, eating Twinkies. And that,
Yeah.
you know, there's all these different reasons for what we read and why we read.
Yeah.
And so I hope you can find
I
something.
love the fantasy element. I like the other, the fact that the authors create other worlds with, a whole set of rules and expectations that aren't a part of my real life, and it really draws me into the fantasy in a way that helps me just lose myself, and I love
Yeah.
that.
That's what it's about. It gives you a
Yeah,
rest
yeah,
from where you are, and that's I look because Sally, my mother was a reader. Obviously, that's what I'm talking about.
yeah,
And on our this is that. Is it a couch? Is it a sofa? Or is it a Davenport? I think as a child I called it a Davenport.
yeah,
On the back of the my mother only sat in one spot,
yeah.
and that was her. She had a little table there. That was her spot. And on the back of the Davenport, she had the one, you know, we didn't have a lot of money, and I don't know how or why, but she got the Reader's Digest condensed books.
Oh,
So
we did too.
she loved it, and she the on the back of the Davenport would be a Reader's Digest condensed book and a
Yeah.
box of Brock's. There was a flavor that she liked that made me go, "Ugh," a dark chocolate. It was probably chocolate covered raisins, which I just thought was disgusting at the time. And she always had that, and she just would read.
What a great memory.
Yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
Yeah, my mom did not, she had 3 little kids, all within a couple of years, and she didn't have a lot of time. Is this the Skype call again?
No, no. This is my aunt.
Oh, yes.
It'll go away in a minute. Um, Too bad. I never know when she's gonna call. Okay, I just declined it. I hope she doesn't take it personally. When my aunt, my aunt Catherine passed away, and we had we had the memorial for her on
Yeah,
her birthday in July, and my aunt Lucille was there, and she had been married to my father's youngest brother, and she said to me, I think she's the only one that calls me Kathleen,
yeah.
and she said, "Kathleen, I'm going to call you every month, just like I call your cousins. I told them I would. I did. I am. I'm going to call you." And
Oh.
she always calls me at the one moment where I can't answer the phone. it's
And she's kind of like the last one of that generation. That's
she
a
is the last one.
so that's very sweet. She feels she wants to stay connected to the family of
Yeah.
all you
She
young
she
all
the
you young
responsibility.
folks.
Yeah, she feels the responsibility of being the only one, and
Yeah.
she wants to call us all, and
Oh, I love that.
yeah, I'm sorry. Uh, oh, and oh, Sharon just had, chocolate covered raisins today. Well, there you go. I hope your napkins are turning out. I looked at all my fabric. I'm gonna make okay, show and tell.
Show and tell
More
time.
more confessions, but show and tell. I'm still going through my first I did make this this was a tutorial on my new it's a stretchy scarf. If you want to hear about me making this, you have to go. I shot a video. It's on YouTube. Let me put the link in here. You have to go to our YouTube channel, and I hope that's what I just posted. We'll find out in a minute. Uh, and
Yes, that's it.
Okay, good. It was exciting, exciting. And now I'm still in my bird phase. I have a table full of bird fabric. Look at this. I don't know if you
Yeah.
could tell how
It's
beautiful this
so
fabric is.
pretty.
This is on Etsy. There's a place called Spoonflower, and I got this, and it was so beautiful that I immediately bought another, whatever this, fat quarter or something, because I thought I want a pillow,
It's really cute.
and now I'm on
A
a
pillow face.
small zipper pillowed phase,
Ah.
although show and tell. Uh, But I haven't even turned on that sewing machine, I mean, once to make that scarf, and here's why, because remember last week I told you that, as I finished hanging those oil paintings on my patio and sat down in the chair to admire my work, I whoa sank because and then went from chair to chair. They all rotted out at the exact same time, some kind of compressed wood. So I ha I had to go and I had to get 6 pieces of 20 by 20 half-inch plywood. I thought that was gonna be a nightmare because I live in a large city and you can't,
Yeah.
you go to Home Depot and have someone help you. It's more like you beg them. I went to a family-owned lumber company, and they were like, "What do you need? 6? Okay." And they cut it. It took 10 minutes. It was the easiest part. And then the difficult part was the not 1, not 2, but 3 trips I had to make to Joann Fabric. Uh-huh. Because I had to buy foam, and online it said, "We have 56 pieces of 1-inch by 36-inch foam," and I wanted 2-inch, actually, 2-inch, and I got there, none, tumbleweeds, nothing, nothing on the shelf whatsoever, but they had the batting, and then here's the miracle. So I go and get in line with my batting to have it cut, and the line wraps around and around the cutting table because it was a Monday and it was also like Columbus Day or something. So people that didn't work, they were all at Joann's, all getting ready. There was a woman ahead of me who bought 8 bolts of tulle in different colors. She
Wow.
was making skirts for Halloween. So I'm standing there. I look down because I'd spent an hour looking for the fabric that I wanted to put on top. There was the bolt of fabric I needed right on that island. I was like, "That's what I'm looking for." Somebody had already bought it, and it was just so I grabbed it and I bought 4 yards of it. And then I got downstairs and the line was wrapped around. They only had one per. And then I went to the other Joann's, and and they had the foam, and I got the foam, and the line, and here's the good part of this, another good part. That line wrapped around and around and around and around, and there was one person checking
Oh,
people out. And so we all started talking. And you know how they always say, well, oh, women are so catty or whatever, but everyone, it's funny because we stood there so long. It's like, oh, what are you making? Oh, well, how are you going to make that? It didn't matter. It was like all ethnicities,
like a
everybody.
craft club.
Like a craft club. It made that wait so good. so that when I got home and I measured everything out and I started doing everything and I realized I should have bought 6 yards of that fabric, I was like, "Oh, dear God." And I got up yesterday at the crack of before 8:30, and I got in the car and I had, because I have to drive 20 miles, and
Yeah.
I went there Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock at Joann's. Nobody was there. It was the most peaceful Zen place ever.
Oh.
People were like, "Oh, may I help you?" I was like, "Whoa," and I found the fabric, I bought 2 more yards, I got in the car, I was home within the half hour, and now I'm
Wow.
done, and that's why this picture should mean that much more to you. Here's a single, and here's
So you recovered all of your chairs,
yep, it looks a lot like the picture.
put all new
All done.
bottoms on them.
Oh, there, that was the old one. They're done. It involved staple guns, it involved hammers, it involved electric scissors and drills. I got my lady chainsaw out, cut some stuff down. It was like, it was an epic thing. And now finally, here's the new segment
Okay.
of the show, and that I didn't even tell you. I, it's the what I like about myself
Oh, I
moment.
like that.
And
Okay.
what I like about myself is I have stick to itiveness.
Mm.
I worked so hard. I finished that, and I was like, it took me 3 days, and like I said, every power tool I owned, and I finished it. And if you're looking for someone to help you with a problem or a project, I'm the person to call because finish. I finish.
You really do.
I do.
Yeah.
It's my thing. And so what do you like about yourself?
Hmm. Here's what I like about myself. Uh I am someone who can easily convince myself that I'm not good enough or I'm not doing a good enough job on something. But I happen to have a friend who reflects back to me that that's not true and that I can do it. And what I like about myself is I trust her implicitly. And
Mhm.
so this week, when I was trying to make videos for our YouTube channel, I was all flummoxed about how I was doing it. And I got online with Kathy, that is the friend I am talking about. And she walked me through, okay, move your lights over here, move your lights over here, put on more, uh, powder over this way, use your mic, bring it closer to you, and now just talk to me. And we did this for almost an hour and a half, and I finally got a video that I wasn't mortified to post online. So what I like about myself is that I have had the good sense to surround myself with really friends I love and trust, you in particular,
Yeah.
and that I have the good sense to listen to them.
Listen, it's not it's an important
It
thing,
is.
an
You
important
know,
gift that you have.
I think there's a we've talked about this a little bit before. I think there's an epidemic of loneliness.
Yeah.
And I think that it is easy to be lonely because we are a disjointed society and we stay at home. And, it's very easy to fall into a lonely place. And it's much harder and braver to reach out and try to be with other people or to at least make a connection online or in person or on the phone. And it is, you and I have been a lifeline for each other many, many times, and we have other good friends who are the same. It is harder to make new friends when you're an adult. And so I
Mm.
would challenge anyone who's feeling really lonely and feels like they don't have any friends to, in addition to keeping yourself open and looking for new friends, also go back through your address book and through your history all the way back to when you were a kid and think, is there anyone I deeply miss? Is there anyone I let fall through the cracks when life got too hard and we just fell away from each other? And have the courage to pick up the phone and call them
Yeah.
and say, I was thinking about how much fun we used to have and I wanted to reconnect. I've
Yeah.
done that.
Yeah.
And
Has it been successful?
It's been successful and it's been wonderful. Now, I wouldn't say that we talk every week now, but we talk at least once a month.
Yeah.
And I really value the fact that we reconnected.
I think the thing is, you have to be prepared to have people go, "I never liked you, I don't I don't wanna talk to you," or "I'm, different now," or "I'm whatever," It's the
Yeah,
same thing, like, if you were trying to, make a new friend.
yeah,
I mean, I think, I've gotten I'm not saying that it doesn't hurt, but
yeah.
as an actor who deals before this strike and
In rejection.
yeah, deals in rejection all the time, and
Yeah,
it's like it doesn't have anything to do with me. I mean, when I was on Drew Carey, I would see the writers had written a part, like this happened a number of times, written a part that was extremely one dimensional, and then they'd cast somebody that they hoped that could fill that. But for an actor to try and play that paper thin thing, it was really hard. And they would and then they'd fire them, and then they hire somebody else. And you know, I, I I got that it had nothing to do with the actor, that it
yeah,
had nothing to do with me. If I was, and I enjoyed writing letters to those people saying, "Please know this had nothing to do with you."
yeah,
It's and those little tiny moments of kindness,
yeah,
that's another thing that I really enjoy. But I think that when you're looking, there's how many gabillions of people in the world, and you need to always be open to meeting a new friend.
yeah,
That's how I feel about our friend Angela,
yeah,
who, met on a fluke. She worked for an artist that I bought some artwork from, and, we stayed in touch, we saw each other, we stayed in touch, saw each other, she's coming to visit me.
yeah.
I mean, I've seen her a bunch, and, but she's coming to visit me in November, and we're gonna celebrate my birthday and her birthday,
That's so
and there's
nice.
a huge age gap, but it doesn't affect the friendship
Yes,
because
exactly.
you just
Yeah,
meet
when you
somebody
find
you
your
don't
when you find your people, it doesn't matter what their age is.
know.
Yeah,
And you just hang on. Yeah, I like that.
yeah.
So, let's see. Let's give something away. Let's give
Oh,
this
yes.
away because this always makes me think of, where'd the other part of
This
that
makes me
go?
think of friends.
Yeah, this as a friend to myself and as, something to share with friends.
Yeah. Um, so this is a wonderful tea set. This beautiful porcelain teacup, which I just love with birds.
Yeah,
It's the theme of the day. And a box of Taylors of Harrogate tea, which is a
yeah,
wonderful British tea company. And this particular box of tea is mostly non-caffeinated. So the flavors are sweet rhubarb, rose lemonade, mandarin and ginger, sour cherry, strawberry and vanilla, white hibiscus and peach, mango and cardamom, and lychee and lime. A couple of them have green tea for the base, and so of course that has a little caffeine in them, but at least half of them don't have any caffeine at all. So we thought this would be really fun, and we love the teacup and teapot together. So the tea cup sits under the pot, and on top is the infuser. So you can also use this not just with the tea bags that we're sending you, but you can also use it with loose tea. So it's very versatile and it's absolutely adorable, we thought. So let's give this away to the 39th person who types in the word tea into the comments starting now.
tea. Uh,
Tea.
I love that, Sharon. I'm still friends with your grade school bestie.
Oh,
Yeah, I love that. I just wanna one, that we're still following the bird theme, that you see that? And, 2, I wanna speak a little bit about cardamom. I thought about this last time. Cardamom's one of those things I never grew up with it. It's more like a Scandinavian. I always thought a Scandinavian Hoovian kind of, thing. But, a little bit of cardamom on a sweet potato that you've microwaved, and if I was into butter and cardamom, but just cardamom is amazing. It will change your life. Yes.
We
Yes.
have a winner, Beth Dwyer.
Ooh.
Congratulations, Beth. You're the winner. We're going to need your mailing address, which you can send us in a private message on the Facebook page, Queen of Your Own Life, or you can send us an email at queenofyourownlife@gmail.com. I hope you like this, Beth. It's like this sweet, personal little, hold it in your hand. It's warm, it's pretty. We just thought this was super, super cozy.
Because it has a bird on it.
Because it has a bird on it.
I carry that theme over. And yeah, only tea for two, Susie, but this teapot is just for one.
Yeah.
So if you invite somebody over, they'll have to have a plain cup or so, But remember we gave this away last year.
Yes.
And the one that I had that we gave away that style last year, every morning. Okay, here's another confession.
Okay.
I like to set up my breakfast stuff the night before.
Oh.
Not just, I don't drink coffee, so it's not like I program the coffee maker or anything like that. I mean, I get my teapot ready and I got put my tea bag there, my vitamins, my plate, we collected these little bowls in Ireland by the premier potter of Ireland. And I love this one little bowl that has blueberries painted on it. And that's what I have, blueberries and raspberries. I love to set up, and I'm not going anywhere the next day. Like, I'm not in a hurry, but I like to set up my breakfast.
I have cats.
Yes.
Which means I can't set anything up in advance. Anything that's on a counter will be off the counter by morning. Because my cats believe that the counter is like the doorbell. If they're ready to eat and you're not awake, things need to smash off the counter and then you'll get the picture. So I live with terrorist cats.
I get that. I get that. Yeah, I don't have
here,
that.
I have my show and tell.
Beth, I love this. She prepares her clothes. I do that too. I just didn't want to go that far.
So this is what I'm going to be doing this next week. This is 150 Dutch tulips from the Netherlands. I just got them in the mail, and I'm going to plant them out in my yard. And in my head, my yard next spring is going to look like Keukenhof, garden in Amsterdam. It's going to be stunning. People are going to drive for miles away to look at it.
And walk into your backyard. And
this is going to be in my front yard because these are so beautiful that I want everyone to see them. So I'm really excited. But the idea of getting on my hands and knees and digging in the dirt and, down deep enough to plant each tulip bulb 150 times, I'm not enthusiastically looking forward to that, but I'm so motivated by the result that I am going to do it.
I'm looking for that was the best place that we went to.
Oh, yeah. It was magnificent,
I'm just looking for some photos of it.
And so next spring, when they all come up, I will send you all, I will post pictures of my lovely, lovely tulip adventure. I'm really excited. I love gardening. I actually, I'm a vegetable gardener and I don't do a lot of flowers. So this is a departure for me and I'm excited.
I remember I asked the guy, when we got to that part of the Keukenhof Gardens, I asked the guy, and what tulips grow in Southern California? And he said, none. And I was like, oh, okay. Unless I put them in the refrigerator and then plant them in a pot. So I would have been really busy if I would have ordered all those. But
yes.
I just hear we talked about this until your ears probably bled, and here's a very small photo of it. But Keukenhof Gardens was it was the best. In fields nearby, they grow the best tulips, and the best tulips then are moved to the gardens where they're planted in beds and patterns. And Cindy bought, as I recall, you bought some parrot tulips.
Some parrot tulips, which have like these little fluttery edges to them.
Yeah. And multiple colors, and then some darker tulips. You picked 3 different kinds.
I have 3 different batches.
Very
And I'm going to mix them all up. At first I was thinking that I would, plant them in separate little beds, but I've decided I'm going to mix them.
Wow.
In my head, I want a like explosion of color and texture. I want just a cacophony of, beautiful spring flowers.
Yeah. I wanted our tulip photos. I was looking for.
Phyllis was saying she grew giant zinnias this summer. I love zinnias. This is the last of my zinnias for the summer. They weren't giant ones. They were just really pretty average size ones. And they're starting to fade, but gosh, they were beautiful. And the thing is, I didn't plant these. I planted zinnias 2 years ago. Apparently some bird ate the seeds and pooped it out in a different part of my yard, and they came back. They were like surprise flowers.
Surprise.
And they were, and the bush of them just became massive. I mean, it was a nice surprise.
I think there's a lot to be said for bird poop.
There's a lot to be said for bird poop.
Oh, I've got, here's your vision come to life. And but oh my God, leave me alone. Sometimes the computer just drives me crazy, and this is one of them. So I'm just going to diminish that. All right, I love Be Live.
Katie Beth said bird poop greeted her in her car this morning on her car.
That's good luck.
Oh,
good luck. All right, we're very close. I'm going to show you your vision come to life.
Oh, that's what I want. I want just a field of dreams of stunning tulips.
That's Kuchenhof and all the mixed area.
Yeah, all mixed together. There's even a few daffodils in there.
I had a pet parrot too when I was in college. Somebody was getting rid of their parrot. Beautiful bird. And he'd named it Sajabu. And I called it Joe. And then when I gave it to when I couldn't take it anymore because it would only eat sunflower seeds, which are hallucinogenic for birds, but that's all it would eat. And then it just pooped and pooped and pooped and pooped. And I was going to go to school in Europe. So I gave it to my grandfather, who got up when the light came up. My grandfather would get up. He would have lunch at 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
Dinner at 3. He was in bed by 7. He called the bird Jimmy. And the bird was like really confused, and my grandfather was kind of deaf. So as you were coming around the corner to his house, you could hear him, Jimmy, you want something? You could hear him yelling at the bird. And I always felt kind of sorry for the bird, but it was a great fit.
Oh, I know people who have parrots absolutely love them and say that they're wonderful companions.
Yeah. Well, when my grandfather passed away, a woman whose husband was a truck driver and who was lonely said she'd gladly take the bird.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I did too.
Because they can live a long time.
Here's speaking of lonely.
Speaking of cozy.
That.
So whenever Kathy said to me when we were first trying to figure out what prizes we were going to give away this month, she said, it's Cozy Up to October month. And what do you think of when you think of cozy? I personally think of cuddling up under a cozy blanket on my sofa and reading or eating bonbons. So we found this wonderful blanket on Amazon, and I think it's called does it say Warm Hugs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what it says right on it too.
Yeah. So the blanket says Warm Hugs right on it. And, we instantly thought, well, that's the blanket for us. And in addition to that, We found these amazing chocolate truffles. Now, we always send any food product we're going to give away to Kathy's cousin, who was a chef. He's a trained chef and trained
And a
baker.
baker. Yep.
Yes, and so yeah, it's really a baker, not a chef.
Both.
Both. And so we always send them to him and ask for his professional opinion. He wrote back to Kathy immediately after getting these and said, "This is the best thing you have ever sent me. It's the best tasting thing of all the food products you have ever sent me. It's a winner." So, and for
Yeah.
him to be that effusive, it really has to be good.
And what we liked is that the woman who created them, one, she's a woman, and what she wanted to do was, in combining chocolate with world flavors, this chocolate tells a story
Yeah.
of different parts of the world, and so the flavors are very exotic. And I think her first one was a curried coconut
Yes,
truffle.
that was her like original thing. And also she's, just another little something about her. Fortune magazine named her one of the 40 under 40, which is a really big deal in terms of entrepreneurs. And then she has been named one of the top 10 best chocolatiers in the world by National Geographic. So she's phenomenal. Her creativity in pairing these tastes together are phenomenal. And we picked this 9-piece set. And I'm going to tell you what
I'm
what the
gonna and don't forget and also what you need to know is that again, this comes in with ice packs,
yes,
and you put them in the refrigerator,
yeah,
and they keep in your refrigerator for 2
2 weeks,
weeks,
yeah. So don't wait too long.
and you can't
Um,
freeze them.
One of the things I loved about her in her bio is she said she set out to make chocolate that didn't have excess sugar or any artificial flavorings. So, everything I read about her and about her chocolates just makes me go, I love this woman.
Yeah, and Cindy said, here's a couple of the flavors.
Yeah.
Uh,
So,
one Kirsch, go ahead with
yeah, go
dark.
ahead, Kath.
Oh, Kirsch with cacao, the dark chocolate, and dried Michigan cherries,
Mm,
crunchy hazelnut praline with milk chocolate, uh, one called Absinthe, Chinese star anise, fennel. Cindy, that might make you actually like fennel, with dark chocolate, sweet Indian curry, something called Wink of the Rabbit. It's soft caramel and cacao milk chocolate, oh, with organic New Mexican pecans.
love it.
Okay. There's one with ginger. There's one with called Budapest with sweet Hungarian paprika. There's one with academia Australian macadamia nuts, and then the olio de oliva, the first pressed Tuscan olive oil with chocolate butter white chocolate.
I
And
mean,
Happy won these last week, and
yeah.
she did report to us that I should not say cut them in half.
Oh, that you should just go ahead and eat them whole.
Eat it whole, and eat them up.
So
Share
this
them,
is
eat them
not
up.
your Russell Stover's box of chocolates.
No, no, it's not, it's
So
not.
let's give away this warm hugs blanket and this beautiful box of truffles to the 45th person who types in the word cozy, COZY, or just the letter C, starting now.
We went to Budapest. We went to Hungary, and we had a great time. They had the best, how they go nuts in Europe, and they put out all these markets, shopping markets in December, and we went there, and we had such a good time shopping. It was cold. They were having a violent cold snap, and we bought paprika up the yin yang, and we just had a great time. Great time. And I invented a recipe, or was that Prague? I invented a bread bread bowl goulash soup that was from Prague. It was
Our
good.
winner is Cindy Bell.
Cindy Bells.
Cindy Bell. Congratulations, Cindy. We're going to need your mailing address so we can send these to you, and you can send it to us in a private message on the Facebook page, Queen of Your Own Life, or you can send us an email at queenofyourownlife@gmail.com. Congratulations. I hope you enjoy these. And please tell us how you liked them, and tell us if the blanket is as nice as we think it's going to be when you get it, because sometime in the future, we might give these same things away, and we want to know if they're worth it.
Yeah. And we're always up for reviews, always up for reviews. So if you like something or you don't like something, we want to know,
Yeah.
And we this other stuff that we have to say. We don't save your address because we don't care, and we don't know what to do with it anyway if we did
We
save
don't
it.
have a database. We don't
Yeah.
market to you. So you can
No.
feel free to send us your address, knowing that we're never going to use it for any other purpose but to send you your prize.
Yep, and we shop immediately because it's lunchtime for me and it's dinner time for Cindy, so get your info in right away, and so that we could send this stuff out to you. And, I just Cindy and I talked about this. I just want to take a minute to and or longer to just say how, I started crying yesterday. I don't know why I watch the news when I'm eating my breakfast, but I do. And I felt such sadness over this war with Israel, and all of the innocent people that are being harmed by it. And uh, it just I always think, live and let live. I mean, I understand, a need to have a home, and I understand this feeling of this is mine and you can't have it and all that. But I just think of all the families, all that grief multiplied, and it makes me very, very sad. And I hope that you all know that um, we're sending healing thoughts uh, to
To the
all the
people
people
in the
affected by
area.
this
Yeah.
war.
There are, we don't have any recommendations, but there are all kinds of international aid groups that you can find easily just by Googling, that are rushing support to the area. There is going to be an enormous humanitarian need. So keep all of those people in your prayers. The news is not going to get better. It is going to get worse. Also, protect yourselves, because sometimes this kind of unbelievable atrocity and despair can overwhelm you too. So while keeping your heart open and wishing good things to all of the people who are in harm's way, also take care of yourself. Take care of your own mental health.
Yeah, and
I'm
happy.
saying that to myself because I need to do it.
This is the thing that, I've done a lot of traveling by myself, not by myself, but I mean, what I meant was without Cindy. But I've also traveled a lot with Cindy. But I traveled all over the world and worked with USO and all of that. And
Yeah,
I always think I'm so glad that as a woman that I'm an American,
yeah,
because, not 100%, but my rights are pretty much protected. I've accomplished more here as a woman than I probably could have in any other country, and I'm grateful for that. So I think that a lot of people feel the same way. I'm so grateful that I'm here, but I'm extremely sad
yeah.
for what's going
By what's
on.
going on. Um, So anyway, we just wanted to acknowledge that, because it's just not possible to be alive in the world today and not acknowledge what's going on, because the world is burning. So
Yeah. And so glad we gave away the candy already.
yeah,
All right. Here's just a single show and tell thing that this I saw this I probably on Pinterest, and that somebody said this is my ultimate barrow cart and my barrow seat. And I
yeah,
thought, yes, I want this. I I just think you could just pick it up and roll it wherever you want it to go.
yeah.
I I don't know.
I think it's just fabulous. I mean, you could use it for a party. You could use it to sit and read. You could use it to stack plants on. I mean, it's so versatile and it's so cool looking. You
Yeah.
could make this.
Oh, I know. If I could think of where to get, I'd probably have to go and get that red wheel at Fleet Farm and back in Wisconsin. I don't think I could find a red wheel. I love everything about. I love the green color. I
Yep.
love the red wheel, and it's true that
Yep.
being an American doesn't protect you. And it's like when I first moved to California, my friend said to me, he was kind of a dramatic person, but he said, "Don't let the sunshine fool you. You can be shot here as well." And, I thought, okay, you know, I mean, I took self-defense and,
Yep.
you have to be
Yes,
aware
I
of
mean, nobody is truly safe anywhere from, maniacs, from violence, but we
yeah,
can't live our lives like that. So, we have to do the best we can while also trying to do as much good as is humanly possible and putting as much positive love out into the world. Some days that's all you can do. So there you
yeah,
have it.
and it's enough. All right. I don't know how or when I'll ever get that, but, that's that. Okay, here's a good thing for right now.
Yes. So this is called the Warm Hug Chicken Soup Box. And at least that's what I'm calling it. Is that what it's
Okay.
called, Kathy?
No, it's actually called the Chicken Noodle Soup Care Package.
Okay.
Well, you were so close, and
I've
it meant so
renamed
much
it.
more.
I've renamed it in my heart and in my head. But what this contains is 2 quarts of chicken noodle soup, homemade chicken noodle soup by this deli, cookies. We're doing double chocolate chip cookies, right?
Well, they were pumpkin chocolate chip, and it also here's the thing, we sent this to my cousin, you
Yes.
know, and because he's got a cast on his arm right now, so we sent it to him, he invited a friend over, he did not microwave the soup, he said, he gently heated it on the stove,
Ah,
but it was definitely delicious and tasted homemade, and so
yeah.
did the bread. It comes with these bocce rolls, and the
Mm,
bread tasted homemade, and he said that it was a delicious luncheon, and that his only complaint was that the cookies tasted store bought. But remember, this is the man who makes 45 different kinds of holiday cookies and candy. He knows his homemade taste. But if you don't mind a store bought cookie, then
yeah.
you're
All the
set.
rest tastes homemade.
Yeah. But it all comes in, and he said it was wrapped really well and in a sturdy package, like they could
Yeah.
heave it around on your porch and nothing would break open.
So
So
we're going to send this chicken soup package, which I consider to be a warm hug from us to you.
yeah, yeah.
Let's give this to the 50th person who types in the word hug, HUG, or just the letter H,
Yeah,
starting now.
hug. That's cool. I spent all this time, 3 solid days with a staple gun out in my backyard, putting these chairs together so that I could, uh, sew. I I bought that sewing machine. It has all these. It's hooked up to Wi-Fi and it has all these tutorials in it. And I thought I'm gonna sit down with my bird fabric and I'm gonna make every single one of those tutorials. And that will be a great way to make myself a better sewer. But I haven't been able to turn the thing on except for once, almost since I got it because the whole patio kept falling apart. And I also bought, some Scotch Guard that's gonna I'm gonna spray on the seats, and I bought a jug of, um, herbal flea shampoo, and I'm gonna mop that whole
Oh,
patio, and that's saying something because it's a big damn patio. Because remember I told you we sprayed for fleas and it made them atomic and
yes.
angry, and, so my husband won't even come out on the patio anymore, but I'm
But
gonna
you're
s
going to make that patio
yeah.
habitable.
Alright,
We have
good.
a winner,
Alright.
Vivian McKenzie.
Vivian McKenzie. What a
Vivian,
lovely name.
congratulations. We'd love to send this chicken soup package to you. We're going to need your mailing address, which you can send us in a private message on the Facebook page, Queen of Your Own Life. Or you can send us an email with that information at queenofyourownlife @gmail.com. Congratulations.
I found it. Vivian McKenzie.
Yay.
It's a lovely. I got my updated DNA. I spit in the
Oh,
test tube a
yep.
few years ago, but for Ancestry.com, and they keep sending, updates,
Yeah, as they learn more things. Yeah.
and they broke it down into both parents. And oh yeah, I squeezed my hand between a pliers trying to.
Ow.
Yeah, that was painful. It's more ugly now than but it was
Oh.
painful. And it said that I am 37% Scottish
Ah,
and 36% Irish, and then the rest is French and English. But so it was McKinney,
huh?
and it came from that hinterland
Sure.
between like everything,
Yep.
Wales and Ireland, and I
Yep.
loved Wales. I thought Wales was really
Yeah.
Wales and Scotland and all that. So yeah, so now I'm Scottish. I don't do a Scottish accent, but that's too bad.
Now that you know that you're a lot Scottish, you just might need to.
I have to practice, I guess.
We
Yeah,
have
but
one more thing to give away. We should give away before we chat.
okay, here we go.
It's
Boom, boom,
really
boom.
two things in one.
I'm I'm trying, but of course, there. Whew.
Okay. This is one of Kathy's favorite small appliances. Tell us a little bit about it, Kathy.
Okay, I had an Instant Pot. It didn't work very well for me. Cindy came that time and spotted the soup on the kitchen ceiling. But my husband gave me this. It's a crock pot brand. It's a slow cooker and an Instant Pot. And I
Wow.
use this thing all through the winter and even in the summer. And what I like to do is buy like a rotisserie chicken at the health food store, bring it home. I take all the meat off. I freeze the bones, and I freeze the chicken. I label it, of course. And then when I want soup, I I get out that carcass. I put it in there with an onion, some peppercorns, and a couple pieces of celery, 8 cups of water, close it, turn it on. And I've never had a problem with this. I know every time we go, people go like, "I'm afraid of Instant Pot pressure cookers." You don't have to be with this one. And I turn on 50 minutes later, I've got the best broth you could ever want. And then I
Wow.
just make a chicken soup out of it. But it
I'm
makes
I'm sold.
everything.
I'm almost ready to try this.
Yeah. I mean, it sautés, it slow cooks, and
Yep.
it's an Instant Pot. You can't
Wow.
go wrong. Okay.
Very nice. Okay, let's give this away to the 54th person who types in the word pot, P-O-T, or just the letter P, starting now.
I don't think so, Beth. Remember I worked with Craig Ferguson, who's Scottish, and people would say, we'd be somewhere like in the cafeteria, and people would say, "What did he say?" And I go, "He said he wants some yogurt." I couldn't, I don't hear his accent for some reason. It doesn't sound like, I don't know. I hear him perfectly. And it's because I hear him perfectly, I cannot do his accent. I have Mrs. P, but Mrs. P is a little bit Irish, and I could do a little bit of an Irish accent, but the Scottish just goes right over my head. So, no, I don't think so. Vivian, can you do a Scottish accent? A Vivian McKenzie accent. That would be good.
Okay, we have a winner, Debbie Lynn Miller.
Debbie Lynn Miller, you have won the Crockpot brand slow cooker.
Congratulations, Debbie. So we're going to need your mailing address so we can send this off to you. You can give us your mailing address in a private message on the Facebook page, Queen of Your Own Life, or you can send us an email at queenofyourownlife@gmail.com. Congratulations.
There. So, October's cozy up to October month. And that's why
I'm excited to be wearing flannel.
yeah.
And this afternoon, when I had to go to the dentist, I wore a sweater over my flannel shirt, and I was in heaven. I mean, I love cozy. I'm just a cozy person.
It's hotter than hell here. My final confession is that this is a linen shirt that I can only wear when I'm on these kind of calls because somehow something got on the back of it like bleach and bleached a big thing right above my butt. So
So it's your forward-facing, only
yeah,
on camera shirt. It's a pretty color on you.
I know I love the color. And but final.
Ah,
So
it's Nancy Lombardo's birthday today.
hey, happy birthday,
Happy birthday,
Nancy.
Nancy.
I just want to say in the cozy up to me part is let's remember what we always say, which is uh, look in the mirror, make eye contact with yourself, and say, what can I do today to make you happy?
Yeah.
Because in spite of everything that's going on in the world, your adventure is about how to make you happy and how to let that happiness go out and affect the people around you. So a few random kind moments is a good thing.
Because there's nothing as attractive, and I don't mean that in a physical sense, I mean as in attracting people to you. There's nothing as attractive as your own personal happiness. When you are happy, you radiate something that makes people want to be in your sphere.
Yeah.
So
Of course,
take
then you
care of
have to learn how to
yourself.
yeah, you have to learn how to set boundaries then because positivity does attract everything, but we'll talk about setting boundaries next week because
Another time,
yeah,
yes.
we're really good at that, but we love you guys, and we love spending time with you, and, we hope you have a cozy time if it's, able you're in a cold area or a cool
Yep.
area. Look at the leaves for me and celebrate autumn because I can't, and
And if you have not already taken a look at our brand new YouTube channel, when you search, it's Queen of Your Own Life 1, because we're going to delete the original channel because I think I talked about it last week. My husband accidentally took it over and doesn't know how to give it back to us. So
and
we've
go there,
started it. Yes, and you'll see the video of Kathy talking about having made this scarf. So go on over, explore our YouTube channel. We'd be grateful if you subscribe. If you do subscribe, you'll know when we put up new videos. And we're hoping to start putting up new videos regularly. And those will be things that you can't see on Facebook, but you'll only be able to see on YouTube.
yeah. So, we love you. Have a good day. Have a great
Thank you.
weekend. Get your info in. We're gonna start shopping now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.